The Avalanche trade Alexandar Georgiev. Travis Hunter is a Heisman finalist, and the Broncos' race to the playoffs is heating up. This is your Denver Sports Daily for December 10th.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
The Avalanche have now completely revamped the goalie room. Last week, the Avs traded away Justus Annunen earlier this month, actually, for Scott Wedgwood, and they made another trade yesterday. They sent Alexandar Georgiev to the San Jose Sharks for Mackenzie Blackwood. Mackenzie Blackwood has played 215 games in his 7-year career and averages 3.07 goals per game and a 0.904 save percentage. Those are pretty good numbers. Mackenzie Blackwood is a name that many people may know, and he's one of those guys that's going to come in and hopefully fix the historically bad goalie play that the Avalanche are having right now. They currently have an .855 save percentage, which is worse than the 10.70-4 Ottawa Senators in the 1992-93 season. It's been the talk on everybody's mind. It's been the biggest thing that held them last year. And even in that Stanley Cup run, the goalie play was not great. And now the Avalanche have finally taken it into their hands to make a move. And not only a move, but two of them, trading away Justus Annunen and Alexandar Georgiev, two of those guys who've been there at the highs and lows, and mostly the lows. They haven't been great. Those two guys needed to move. It was the right thing that could have been done. There is no say on how this is going to turn out yet. We haven't seen these guys take the floor yet for the Avs. We have seen Scott Wedgwood come in and play pretty well. I'll give him that. It's been much better than how we've seen it in the past with those two guys. And now there's the movement that I've been talking about. That's what's got to happen for the Avs to right now get into a position where they can win now, because that's what needs to happen, right? They want to win now, so they have to make moves on where they're struggling most, and they did that. Now, in total, the Avs sent over Georgiev, Nikolai Kovalenko, a 2025 fifth-round pick, and a 2026 second-round pick. And in return, the Avs received Blackwood, Giovanni Smith, and a 2027 fifth-round pick. And now another part of that that you heard is Nikolai Kovalenko. Young guy, had some ups, had a lot of ambition. There was a lot of good to look for Kovalenko, but overall, just it was more important right now for the Avs to get somebody who's in that goalie position who can kind of fill it out. And then Giovanni Smith, who's not really a big name, but then again, the Avs aren't going to go out if there's not a game plan for him. They're not going to pick up somebody if they don't know that he can fit in their scheme and what they're going to be doing. So there's a lot of movement there. Those are a few big things that happen there, and that's a huge trade. And I hear some people say that we're overpaying, but I just don't think that we're really that they're overpaying at all. The fifth-round pick, just throwing them in there, and then the second-round pick, you're not going to see very many guys going to the second round who even end up making the roster. So I don't hate that move at all. I don't hate what we gave up. I think that it was necessary, and it's what needed to be done right away. Now, it is an Avs game day. Tonight, the Avs are traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins. Now, after the past trades, the Avs are hopefully looking to fix that very broken goalie situation, and tonight would be a good time to show what we're in for the rest of the season, with Scott Wedgwood most likely going out there to play. Now, the Avalanche are still 1-point favorites, despite them missing key players in Miles Wood and Jonathan Drouin still. And then there's still a lot of talk on if Gabe's going to come back. I wish I knew the answers. I don't think that anybody really out there knows exactly when he's going to come back, but it's really one of those things that we need to get healthy. They need to get healthy, and they just need to, go out there and start winning games now, and then hopefully they can be in for some better leadership things when Gabe comes back. Now, moving on, Travis Hunter is officially a Heisman finalist. To no one's surprise, Travis Hunter was named a Heisman finalist along with 3 other standout stars: Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Miami quarterback Cam Ward, and Boise State running back Ashton Genty, who we've heard a lot in these past couple weeks. All will be joining Hunter in New York this Saturday for the ceremony. Now, if Hunter wins, he would join Rashaan Salam as the only CU players to ever win the Heisman. And surprisingly, on the other side, despite breaking multiple school records and holding top 10 records all across the league, Shedeur Sanders wasn't listed as a finalist. And although it wasn't close to likely that he would win, it is strange that he was passed over for Cam Ward. Cam Ward's been amazing, and it's been great. If you've watched him in Miami, he's played well, but he just hasn't played to that level that Shedeur Sanders has, and I'll stand by that. I don't think Cam Ward isn't as good as Shadur Sanders, and Shadur should have been in that top 4 over Cam. But, it is good to have somebody from CU go up there and represent the state. Now, Hunter is currently looking like the runaway favorite to win the Heisman. His odds are at minus 2,500, and the closest to him is Ashton Genty at plus 900. Those are not betting odds. Those are not odds that I would ever want to take on either side. Now, on Hunter's side, I wouldn't want to take that because you're not winning anything. And on Genty's side, I wouldn't take that because he's not going to win anything when it comes to the Heisman. Travis Hunter is the runaway favorite, and I would be more than shocked. I would be more than appalled if Hunter doesn't win it. He has done everything right. He has played both sides of the field at the highest level, and he's going to be a top 3 draft pick in the league. Those are the kinds of things that you look at and you just say, yeah, this kid's going to be a Heisman. He has to be. There's no other option about it. Now, the Broncos' road to the playoffs is starting to heat up. Their matchup against the Colts this weekend will be a must-win if the Broncos want to secure a spot early in the playoffs. Now, with Miami and Cincinnati both winning their games this weekend, they're also creeping up on the 7th seed. Cincinnati's further off. Miami's closer. It's going to be a tight battle, especially for that wild card fight with Baltimore, LA, and the Denver Broncos all tied at 8-5. Now, all those teams, both of those teams, the Chargers and the Ravens, have the tiebreaker over the Broncos, unfortunately, but that won't matter if they can both lose this weekend and the Broncos can come out with a win. Now, this Sunday, the Chargers play the Buccaneers, which will be a tighter battle, and the Ravens face the Giants. Not looking great on that side, but hopefully, if the Giants can pull out an upset win over the Ravens and, the Chargers can lose to the Buccaneers and the Broncos can win over the Colts, that would push them into a great spot, a great spot to secure the 5 seed. And then now you're talking about getting home games, because then the matchups come in where you're looking at, are the Ravens playing the Bills? Are how can that move? And then if that happens, the Ravens play the Bills, beat the Bills. The Ravens play the Chiefs, beat the Chiefs. Then there's a home game for the Broncos. The Chargers coming in to play the Broncos, and that's if the Broncos can go all the way there. There's going to be so much movement in these next couple of weeks, and there's going to be such a tight battle for those last few spots. And there's so many teams already eliminated in the AFC for playoff contention, but that just means that those 6 or 5 teams, however many it is, I believe it's 6, that are fighting for those last 3 spots, it's going to be a dogfight. And that this weekend, the Broncos and Colts game is not going to be an easy game. It is not going to be easy in whatsoever in any say the word. This is going to be a tough battle. Both of these teams want to get in the playoffs. The Broncos have the edge right now with a better record, but the Colts are coming to town and they're not going to want to leave without a win. This would be a huge win for the Broncos if they can pull it out and put them into a great position to secure a playoff spot in the wild card. And now we're talking about actually securing it as early as this. And it won't be clinched, but it would be, better for the Broncos. With so much happening with the Broncos in these past couple seasons, I would have never thought that this would be the season that the Broncos are talking about playoffs. And not only playoffs, like going to it, but winning a game. The Broncos right now look like they can win 1 or 2 games in the playoffs and pull off that same kind of thing that the Texans did last year with CJ Stroud. It's just incredible to watch. I went into this thinking it was a rebuild year, and now everybody's saying, screw the rebuild. This is our team. We got it right here. And now they're looking forward to the draft. Like, we don't need any players that we were thinking we might need. We weren't going to go for Shadur. We aren't going to get any of that. We're getting a wide receiver. We're getting a tight end. We're getting a skill position, something like that. That's what I want to see now. Start giving both some spots right there, and we're throwing it all around. It's incredible to even be talking about playoffs right now. And this weekend's matchup is going to be huge. If only, we can pull it out and then we can just win it all. Like, it's so much fun to even be thinking about it right now. But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I do want to read some of your comments. Let's see. I'm hoping it fixes it. Time will tell if we have a good goalie room. Yes, time will tell. I think that the guys that we have right now in that goalie room are much better than who we had before. And that's how you need to compare it. Is Scott Wedgwood is playing at a really high level. He was amazing in that past game where he saved 25 shots. He's been playing very well. It's just, and then Blackwood going to be really good. I'm really interested to see if this is what pushes them over the edge. That's where my head's at. Will this be the move to push them over the edge? Because if you look back at that Stanley Cup run, the Avs didn't have good goalie play there. So now this is going to really be the turning point to see, was it a goalie issue or was it an issue somewhere else that we're not even seeing? So that's what I want to see there. Let's see. One more. Let's see. No one wanted to give up Kovalenko, but they had to do this. Georgiev could not stay in that locker room any longer. I agree. Kovalenko had a lot of upside that was possible. He was still young, but it was really, really important for Georgiev to get out, and they needed to get a good value back for him, so they had to give a player like that. I totally agree with what you're saying here, and we'll definitely see. We're going to have to wait and see what this new goalie room looks like and if they can come out with some wins, because that's all that matters in this, is it better or worse than before you traded those assets? But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I'm going to be back with you guys again tomorrow. Hopefully the Avs can pull out a win tonight against the Penguins. That would be huge to watch. But other than that, that's going to do it. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.